Stepdad gave me a clock for my 18th birthday. Then I found a hidden camera inside it and ran away, thinking he was responsible for it. But it turns out his new assistant bought it to spy on me. All right, so my 18th birthday was coming up, and I was both excited and a bit anxious. You know how it is. Turning 18 feels like a big deal. My mom and stepdad, Mark, were being all secretive about their plans, dropping hints here and there, but never giving anything away. I was dying to know what they had in store. The big day finally arrived, and our house was packed with friends and family. There was music, laughter, and a mountain of gifts. Mark, who had always been more of a dad to me than my real father, handed me a beautifully wrapped box. I tore it open, and inside was this really cool, vintage-looking clock. It was one of those old-fashioned ones with intricate designs and a pendulum. Mark told me it was a family heirloom, something passed down from his grandfather. I was touched. It seemed so thoughtful and special. Little did I know this clock was about to turn my life upside down. A few days after the party, I was in my room, trying to find the perfect spot for the clock. I wanted it to be somewhere I could see it all the time, a constant reminder of my awesome birthday and my stepdad's gesture. As I was fiddling with it, I noticed this tiny hole on the side. It looked out of place, like it didn't belong there. Curiosity got the better of me, and I grabbed a screwdriver to take a closer look. What I found made my blood run cold. A small camera hidden inside the clock. My heart started pounding. Why the hell was there a camera in my birthday gift? The only person who could have put it there was Mark. I couldn't believe it. This man, who I had trusted and looked up to, was spying on me? It felt like my entire world was crumbling. I felt sick to my stomach and decided I needed to confront him, but I had to wait until Mom was out of the house. She didn't need to be part of this mess. So I waited until Mom went out for her weekly yoga class. I grabbed the clock and stormed into Mark's office, my hands shaking with anger and betrayal. "What the fuck is this?" I demanded, shoving the clock in his face. Mark looked genuinely confused. "What are you talking about, Rose?" "Don't play dumb with me. There's a camera in this clock. Were you spying on me?" I shouted, my voice cracking. His face went pale, and for a moment, I thought he was going to pass out. He stammered, I had no idea, Rose, I swear. This was a gift from my grandfather. I didn't put a camera in it." I didn't believe him. How could I? The clock was from him, and there was a camera in it. It seemed pretty straightforward to me. I couldn't stay in that house any longer, not with someone I couldn't trust. I ran up to my room, threw some clothes into a backpack, and took off, not knowing where I was going. I ended up at my friend Jess's place. She was the only person who knew the whole story, and she was furious on my behalf. We spent hours talking about it, trying to make sense of everything, but as the days went by, I realized I couldn't stay there forever. I needed answers. I needed to know why Mark would do something like this. While I was gone, Mark and Mom were blowing up my phone with calls and texts. I ignored most of them, but eventually I picked up a call from Mom. She was frantic, crying, begging me to come home. She said Mark had been beside himself, swearing he had nothing to do with the camera. I didn't know what to believe anymore. Then, out of the blue, I got a message from Mark's assistant, Jamie. It said, "We need to talk. I know about the camera." I met up with Jamie at a coffee shop, my heart racing. She looked nervous, almost scared. "Rose," she said, "I need to tell you something. I was the one who put the camera in the clock." I was stunned. "Why? Why the hell would you do that?" Jamie explained that she had been stealing from Mark, little by little, and she was paranoid that he was onto her. She thought if she could get some dirt on me, something she could use as leverage, she'd be safe. "You're a psycho," I spat. "You ruined my life because you were scared of getting caught." Jamie begged for my forgiveness, but I didn't care. I left the cafe, my mind reeling. I called Mark and told him everything. He was furious with Jamie, of course, and promised to fire her immediately. But more than that, he was just relieved I believed him. I went back home and things were awkward for a while, but we worked through it. It took time, but we rebuilt our trust, and Jamie, Last I heard, she was facing charges for embezzlement and invasion of privacy. Life's been crazy since then, but at least now I know who I can trust. And that clock? It's still in my room, but now it's just a clock. No more hidden surprises.